Hey!
Hey, hi.
Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Hello.
That's brutal. Just two patriotic girls. So please don't take us the wrong way.
Dun, 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 dun.
What?
It's your theme music.
I have theme. What? Star
Yeah, I'm
Wars.
giving you some theme music. It's
Why?
like Star Wars.
Why?
Because your jacket's like Star Wars or James Bond villainish type thing.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Not.
I like it.
Okay.
Hi. Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
No, not ready yet. Clearly.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and start.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No.
Sure we will.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
You
Thanks,
gotta stop
thanks
doing
for
this to me.
joining us today on the Natasha and Debbie show again. If you like what we do here, consider subscribing. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And don't forget, you can always check us out over on Patreon if you haven't checked us out there too.
I'm gonna go have a sandwich.
Now we're going to stay here and do this video. I'm so excited to take a look at this stuff today.
Oh my goodness. So she just did that to me again. Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Debbie said everything. So I guess we'll just get into what we're here for.
Let's do it.
World Cup is coming up. Hey, that rhymed. That was bad. I'm sorry. On Sunday. And for reasons we won't get into, we're not gonna do anything with the World Cup. So saying that little should have said a lot. Moving on, we are going to do this in honor of the World Cup, though. We are going to take a look for the first time ever at the Premier League stadiums.
Yes.
These are the English Premier League stadiums for the 2021-2022 season. And
I can't wait to take a look at them. I'm hoping that they'll show us some of the areas that these stadiums are in. Are they out in the country? Are they suburban? Are they like city, downtown?
I'm going to guess what
What's
city.
the housing look like around there?
I'm excited to see, those of you that watch football and are football fans, I want to see where you guys go. I want to see where you hang out, support your teams. I think that'll be cool to see where you spend some time. Excited about that. And what's different with your stadiums versus ours? If they show capacity, we'd love to know that. So there's a lot about this that we're excited about. Yeah. So this is our homage or our little thing for the World Cup. Let's get into the English Premier League stadiums for the 2021-2022 season.
The Premier League needs no introduction.
Actually, it does.
So I'll instead use that time to say we'll be going through at least the top 4 tiers of English football.
Top 4.
So if you support one of those clubs and have an interesting fact or just a little tidbit about your stadium, I'd love to hear them.
We would too.
Please let me know in the comments.
Let us know in our comments.
Anyway, let's get into the stadiums.
Nice.
We start off with Emirates Stadium, home to Arsenal.
Arsenal, heck yeah.
It's one of only a handful of Premier League stadiums built this millennium, and the design certainly...
Check out that roundabout. We don't have a lot around here yet, but that is a huge roundabout.
Good eye. Hold on.
For us.
Roundabouts scare the crap out of us Americans.
This stadium's a lot bigger than what I thought it was going to be.
That's huge.
I don't know why.
reflects that. It's reminiscent of Estadio da Luz in Lisbon. After all, it was designed by the same firm.
You know what those look like to me, though? We're not used to the square over here. But I'm not. Don't take this the wrong way. Please, nobody get upset by it. It's like a big inflatable.
Yeah, kind of.
You know what I'm saying? Like a big inflatable, like, house thing. Just because I'm not used to the square and then like the roundness on the edges. Kind of. I'm gonna shut up. You're welcome.
The interior is almost identical. It's made up of 4 tiers of bowl seating with the top tier undulating, which is kind of cool.
It's very cool.
Although I don't often talk about atmosphere, the Emirates is often called the library by away fans, which tells you everything you need to know. But it's certainly a great looking stadium. Oh, come on. You shush.
He's cheeky.
Villa Park, home to Aston Villa.
42,000.
If I wasn't already familiar with the stadium,
this one's cool.
I'd swear that Villa Park was the name of a housing estate. But
Does
no,
sound like
it's definitely a stadium. It has more of a traditional design than the last one, with 4 individual stands that have slowly conjoined over time.
Whoa.
Wow, look at that.
That facing
Oh,
is awesome.
The brick there looks all industrial in there.
That's cool.
And
so
some
far,
of those stands.
Oh, sorry.
so far, very different than stuff we have here.
Yeah, I kind of like that old architecture to it.
Mm-hmm.
Stands, particularly this one, have a beautiful brick facade. On the inside, the seats are done up in the club's colours of claret and sky blue. After all, they were the first to wear it, and it has since become a very popular choice for other clubs.
I have seen that on some jerseys.
Mm.
Whoa, that's cool too.
The Amex,
Brighton.
home
It's
to
pretty
Brighton and Hove
modern.
Albion. It was built a little way out of the centre of Brighton and Hove, in a village called Farmer. The stadium features a very distinctive sloping roof canopy that almost slopes all the way down to the ground behind
That's
each
so
goal.
cool.
Wow.
This
That's
is
so neat.
partially due to the disparity in size between the different stands.
Huh.
And it looks pretty good as well.
The seats look cool with the.
The interior is
Bit
also
birds.
quite
Yeah.
visually striking. It
Yeah.
just looks very spick and span.
It does.
It's a great little stadium, this one.
I don't call that little.
Right?
Turf
Turf
Moor,
Moor.
home to Burnley.
Burnley.
It is arguably the most simple of the Premier League stadiums. But some would say that's a good thing.
Yeah,
If
I
it ain't
understand.
broke, don't fix it. I think that's a Bob the Builder quote. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Bob the Builder.
It's made up of 4 completely separate stands.
Huh.
No frills, but it gets the job done. One thing I really like about it is that due to the stands on the west and the south being considerably smaller, it offers those sitting higher up in the other stands a pretty decent view of the surrounding hills
That is an awesome
and Burnley
view.
itself, which
Yeah,
I
it is.
believe they call the Venice of the North.
Looks a little
Stamford Bridge,
London.
home to Chelsea.
Oh, okay. Heard
Out
of
of the so-called Big Six club stadiums, Stamford Bridge is the smallest. It is,
Really?
however, the biggest stadium
pretty big.
in Fulham, rather than Fulham's. And it's currently the oldest Premier League stadium.
Okay.
In those 140 odd years, it has hosted basically every sport under the sun,
Oh,
even
wow.
greyhound racing. On that note, why is it always greyhounds? I'd love to see a pug race. Anyway, Chelsea have well and truly made the stadium their own since the days of the greyhounds. Particularly on the inside where it's very Chelsea. Yeah,
Very.
not too shabby.
I like
They
the
do have a
seats.
rather spectacular upgrade
Holy
planned,
crap.
but that won't be for
Oh,
a
that's a
little
nice
while.
plan.
I like that.
Selhurst Park, home to Crystal Palace.
I have to say these are that one and this one were both London, right? And like I wouldn't expect the smallest one to be in London,
No.
but these are really cool. Again, so different from ours. All these squares, you know,
Yeah.
it's just not something we're used to.
Yeah, we're used to much more ovals.
Ovals or round or whatever.
Yeah.
But and then not. Are there any with domes on them that close? Because we have a lot of domes and
Haven't
stuff.
seen any yet.
I know it does rain there, right? We
In
know
some
this.
ways, it's a shame that Crystal Palace aren't one of the bigger clubs,
No, no.
because the potential for a stadium for a club named Crystal Palace is immense. If you're unfamiliar, the nearby area in which the club used to play is named Crystal Palace, after the incredible building that went by the same name. That was
Oh,
unbelievably
wow.
built in 1851. And a big budget stadium inspired by the Crystal Palace
Jeez.
would be freaking incredible. Maybe
Agreed.
one day. But for now, Selhurst Park is adequate. It's very
Adequate.
old-fashioned. I mean, 2 of the stands still have those obstructive support pillars holding up the roof. But I like that old-fashioned charm.
I do too, actually.
Goodison Park, home to Everton.
Liverpool. Oh no. Everton.
Famously, this
Sorry.
ground was built after Everton moved out of Anfield. And it has since hosted more top-flight football than any other ground in the country.
Really?
So that's good. But the move out of Anfield did spawn their arch enemies. Goodison Park is a good-looking ground, and it's loved by many. However, it is aging. As you can see, once again there are those support pillars on
Yeah, I
some
saw
of the
that.
stands, which obviously isn't ideal. So the grand old lady hasn't got too many years left, as Everton will be moving to what seems to be an absolute beauty of a stadium.
If you don't pause it, I am.
We're
Yep.
like, what?
Holy crap, that's cool.
That's pretty awesome.
That is
man.
awesome. You guys love when we say awesome. I know how much you love that American word.
It seems like they're moving it at least it seems.
Much more modern.
Yeah, quite a bit away on the water.
That is so cool.
That is awesome looking.
I will make Everton my
modern.
team just for the stadium when they get that.
But it does have like an open thing. I wonder if those are closable domes or not.
That's what I'm wondering. Because of the weather.
Let us know.
I like that you can see in too from the
Hopefully
side.
they take the atmosphere along with them.
That's cool. I love it.
Elland Road, home to Leeds United,
Leeds United!
is not too dissimilar to the last one,
Yorkshire.
from the bird's eye view at least.
Area.
And it too has some outdated design elements,
Well, I'm sure they
such
all-
as, yet again, pillars supporting the roof in
Yeah.
some sections. But after consolidating their position in the Premier League, the plan
Sorry, won't pause too much more. Are those all homes right there? That's so close to the stadium.
Yeah. I was going to ask at the end about living next to a stadium.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that
gotta be
like?
loud. That's gotta be loud. And if anyone does, do you like it? Do you not like it? I wouldn't like it.
I mean, it'd be pretty convenient when you want to go to the game. You just hop right over.
True.
plans to
get
upgrade
tickets.
and expand the stadium to a capacity of around 55,000
Oh, wow.
seem likely to go ahead. Interestingly, Allen's Road was originally known as the old Peacock Ground, named after the adjacent pub. And I've got
Okay.
to say, they should have kept that name instead of naming it after a road. The old Peacock Ground. I like it.
I like it too.
King Power Stadium,
Leicester.
home to Leicester City. It's been 5 years since they pulled off the unthinkable,
What's new?
and I'm glad to see
It
that the
does.
wheels haven't fallen off since then. Given Leicester's relative success, their stadium remains quite humble, but they are planning an expansion. I don't think any design is set in stone, but it could end up looking like Cardiff City Stadium,
Oh, wow.
which is no bad
Pretty
thing,
similar.
but hopefully they go for something a bit different.
Look a little bit different. Similar. I
The
mean,
stadium's current design is far from being something a bit different.
I like it.
There are quite a few stadiums in England that look very similar. In particular, one that's coming up later in the video. The interior is just a simple single-tier bowl, but it looks fine.
I like it though.
What
What?
are these things on the pitch right there? Why is it yellow?
Yeah. Is it just lighting maybe?
I don't know. It could be like fertilizer or something.
Just on one spot?
Let us know.
It's underneath these white things
Huh?
on both sides. What are the white thingies? They're like little airplanes without wings. We don't know. Help us. Help the Americans. That's different.
Anfield,
Liverpool.
home to Liverpool, a club that was formed when Everton moved out.
You know why? Because you'll never walk alone. And guys,
Yeah.
I've already seen the video. Everyone keeps asking me to react to it. I've
Yes.
seen so many
We've
different
seen it.
versions. It's beautiful and I love it. But please don't keep asking. I've already watched it without you. I'm sorry, but I can't hold everything back.
It was a prudent decision to name the club Liverpool. It could be a small reason behind the club's popularity in Liverpool. It just casts a broader net than the name Everton. But winning helps with the popularity as well.
Yeah, it does.
Am I wrong, or is the right side of the stands look? I mean,
It
they are
goes way back there.
massively far back
Yeah.
compared to any of the other ones.
Yes.
Like really far back. I wonder what that's about.
Probably just make more
I
room.
want to sit on the other side, closer to the pitch, not field. Pitch.
That's right. It's a pitch.
It's hard to remember that.
Anfield has one of the best looking stands in the world. I am of course speaking of the main stand, particularly the exterior.
Oh,
It's
wow.
modern, but
That
the
is pretty
facade is mostly made of brick,
I like it.
so it looks fairly traditional at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, literally, the roof canopy is fairly unique. It kinda looks like the brim of a baseball cap or something. The rest of the stadium is a little more typical, but also pretty darn good.
I like it. I dig it. What's this guy?
Etihad
wow.
Stadium, home
Manchester.
to Manchester City.
Manchester City. Okay.
This one has a short
Wow.
history, but a unique
pretty
history.
cool.
It was originally built for the 2002 Commonwealth Games, but it was always going to be converted into a football stadium afterwards
Okay.
and was designed as such.
Yeah, I like that.
The stadium's most unique feature would have to be the cable-supported roof canopy that's held up by these masts that surround the stadium. The cables kind of look like giant harps. I wonder if you could play them. What do you know? It's a bit out of tune, but not bad.
I like it. That's really
The
modern.
interior is made up of a double-tiered bowl structure, plus a separate tier of seating on 3 out of 4 sides of the ground.
I didn't catch the attendance size. Did you see that?
I did not.
Because this one looks like the biggest one we've seen so far.
Looks
Might be
big.
wrong. Sorry about that if I am. I didn't catch it this time. So much to look at.
And not too far away is Old
Oh, this
Trafford,
one's cool.
Manchester
United. Although the name
74,000.
Old Trafford isn't referring to the ground itself, it is true, it's quite old,
Oh, okay.
and it's showing its age in some areas. But nevertheless, it's the biggest and arguably the most famous Premier League stadium. I said arguably, okay?
You said
Let's just
arguably.
get that clear. The exterior consists of a lot of brick and glass, which looks great. But something Old Trafford is especially known for are those inclined roofs, which give the stadium a unique
like
look
this
on
one.
the outside, but on the inside it sort of blacks out and blocks off the upper seating,
Oh, yeah.
particularly on the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. And there's something about that that has to add to the intimidating atmosphere. The fear of the unknown, I guess. Feyenoord's De Kuip has a similar situation. I kinda like it. St.
Newcastle.
James's Park, home to Newcastle United, the northernmost
Sounds
Premier
cool.
League team.
That
For
is
some
pretty
reason,
cool.
I really
That
like
is.
the slightly unusual asymmetrical design of this stadium.
It just seems
This
really,
one's so different.
yeah, it seems really open. I don't know why, but it does.
It seems like I get really sunburned at this one. It's that Scottish DNA.
Yeah.
I burn easily. If you guys wonder why we're going, oh, Newcastle or oh, Leeds, it's because we have, we've made friends with so many people
Uh-huh.
from here that we know specifically are big fans of those teams and things. So it's like, yeah, I can see your stadium now. So again, this is so cool to see where some of you go and hang out and spend
Yeah.
time with your team and support them. Now I'm like, I can see it in my head, so I have it there. This is just, I'm loving this video. If you guys are too, please hit that like button.
Check out those cool buildings next to the stadium.
Oh, those are, dang. They're all like different shapes and stuff.
I
there.
know. Pretty cool architecture going on.
This is really cool. Let us know if you want us to do a video on Newcastle. We haven't done that yet.
This was done because, as you can probably see, there's a shortage of available land on 2 sides of the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
So they simply didn't have room to expand further.
I like that one.
The additional seating had to be put on the other sides, causing this lopsided design that
Yeah,
we
but it's
have
cool.
here. Other than that, the design isn't too unusual. Just like Crystal Palace, they could have really played off the team's name and made a new castle-like exterior, like what you see on many college football stadiums. But then, once the castle's been around a while, it becomes an old castle,
Exactly.
so it
Yep.
would be irrelevant. Carrow Road, home to Norwich City.
Norwich City.
After 4 big boys in a row, we're back to something a little more modest. It's not
cool.
like they
It
can
is.
spend a load of money on a huge stadium. They're not rich. But they don't need a big stadium anyway. This one is perfectly fine. It's actually one of my favorite of the smaller stadiums. But I don't know why exactly. Maybe it's simply just those yellow and green seats.
Oh, those
They
are
really stand out when watching it on TV.
Those
It was
stand out.
particularly
What do those remind me of?
High school?
My high school colors were those green and gold, so that's more yellow. Sorry.
noticeable in the last couple of seasons without any fans.
You do stand up.
Oh, and there's actually a hotel hidden somewhere in the stadium as well,
I'm sorry, what now?
which is kind of cool, but where is it?
Seriously?
Right there.
That's gotta be it.
A Holiday Inn.
St. Mary's Stadium.
Now that
It's
looks the
south
closest to an actual American football stadium as I've seen. Would you agree with that?
For
Closest.
most of them, yeah.
Not quite, but closest to it. And yes, we do have the Cincinnati FC Cincinnati, which
Yes.
is our professional soccer football team. We have a stadium, the TQL Stadium. I'll throw it up right now and show it to you. That's TQL Stadium right there in Cincinnati, here in our city. Probably smaller than most of the stadiums
Yeah.
you guys
And we
are
have
used
not
to.
been.
We have not been yet. Give us a reason to go.
Yeah.
Send one of your teams over.
Hampton. It's the red version of the King Power Stadium. Although I shouldn't say that, I should say the King Power is the blue version of St. Mary's. Because it actually did come first, by a grand total of 1 year.
Oh.
I don't know what else to say, it's just the same as the KP really. I guess
I like the inside.
there's probably some good fish and chips nearby.
He's clearly not a fan.
That water right next door is technically a river, but the sea is right over there.
Random.
Let's just move on.
Whoa.
Tottenham
What
Hotspur
is
Stadium,
this?
home to... Oh, darn it. I forgot. For a couple of years, it was the newest Premier League stadium.
Whoa.
But as you'll see later on, another team has put an end to that. It still has to be the flashiest stadium in the league, and arguably in Europe. Although I don't think there is an official flashiness index to go
Holy
by.
crap, guys.
But just look at that. I don't often say this about a stadium, but it's a sexy stadium.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, look at that giant cock rule up there on the roof. A golden cockerel is amongst the most sought after stadium features. But a more useful feature that I particularly like is the south stand.
Wow.
It's just one big wall of seats. The interior is...
Let's just take a minute and appreciate that.
That is pretty awesome.
Does that say to dare is to do? I think. Hard to
I
tell from
believe
this
so.
angle. We're both like,
Get back, we're old.
where's my monocle? That's really,
That
this
is.
is crazy. I didn't expect that one.
And just even how the stands kind of have that curve. They go up, get higher.
That's really
down.
cool.
Smooth lines around there.
How's the team? Let us know. I don't know. Never heard of them. Sorry. I don't know. We're still learning, guys.
Yes, we are.
Anyone a fan? Let us know. I would love a jersey or a football scarf.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely better than the exterior though. Don't get me wrong, it looks great. But it also looks like... Vicarage
Oh
Road,
my.
home to
Oh,
Watford.
this is a smaller one.
On the surface, the Vic doesn't look too far out of the ordinary.
I like the different
It's a
colors.
fairly typical ground made up of 4 individual stands, with one stand that is particularly built up. But perhaps the most peculiar thing about this stadium is that one of the stands is named after Elton John. Sir Elton John, I should say.
It sure is.
He is, of
What?
course, a Watford supporter, and formerly the major shareholder, president, and chairman.
Oh, there
But
you go.
forget about that. I've just learned that for a brief period in the early 90s, this place was home to Wealdstone FC, which means that the Wealdstone Raider has most likely been here before.
I know what
Forget
that
about
is.
Elton John, his fame pales in comparison to the great man.
Obviously, we are
We don't know.
in the comments. Let us know. And sorry.
London Stadium.
I love
One
this
of-
stadium. West Ham United.
What is that to the left?
What in the crap is this? Hold up.
Sorry, I'm kind of looking at everything here.
Debbie's very observant. What is that? Is that a giant hookah?
That's what it looks like to me.
Looks
That's
like a
what I'm
giant
like.
hookah. Hookah. I said hookah. Tobacco usage.
Surrounded by like a moat.
This is
It has a
awesome.
moat around it.
Okay, there's a lot happened to this photo that we don't understand here.
Yeah.
Just give us a minute. I'm glad you noticed that because I was just staring at the circularness of the stadium, which again reminds me more of a baseball stadium or something.
Yeah.
What is that?
Let us know, please.
What is that thing? I don't know. This is a cool
what's the big
stand though.
hookah?
London Stadium.
What is that?
One of the most generic names imaginable.
Oh, it's actually called
It's
London
the home
Stadium.
of West Ham United. West Ham have one-upped Manchester City's Commonwealth Games Stadium and gone with the former Olympic
Where's the
Games
turf?
Stadium. But by no means doesn't mean it's a better ground. It is actually a much maligned stadium. It looks alright to be fair, but I don't think the aesthetics are the main issue. Although from an Olympics perspective, it followed from Beijing's Bird Nest Stadium, which is a far more interesting design.
Well, yeah.
But the disdain for London Stadium has probably to do with the fact that it's a bit soulless, and many of the seats are quite far from the action.
I mean,
And a lot of fans weren't too pleased with the move to begin with,
Okay.
regardless of what the stadium was like.
get it.
But relatively speaking, in the grand scheme of the entire world, it's still a fine stadium.
I think it's cool.
Molineux Stadium,
Molineux.
home to the Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wolverhampton.
You've got to love a bit of alliteration. Wonderful wording. The stadium's exterior is done up in a rather unusual colour. Parts of it are like a yellowish cream with some hits of brown. I wasn't alive in the 70s, obviously, but I feel like you would see a lot of these colours working in an office in the 70s.
He's not
Manila
wrong.
folders, old-fashioned computing devices, as well as that fake wooden
floppy.
furniture and brown clothing and
Nice, dude.
all that stuff. I'm making it sound bad, but
That's
I
great.
actually quite like it.
Those are
Not
cool.
the 70s office, the exterior. It sets it apart from the other stadiums. Not that it wasn't already a bit different with that French-sounding name.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Another thing that sets it apart are the curved stands on the side of the pitch. Usually stadiums that are made up of 4 individual stands don't have that. It just
That's
allows
neat.
for a better viewing angle for those sitting on the sides.
I like that.
Yeah.
And the last cab off the rank is
It's a small one.
Brentford Community Stadium, home of the Brentfords. This one definitely doesn't look vintage. Like I alluded to earlier, it's the newest stadium in the Premier League, having had the misfortune of opening in the year 2020.
Oh no.
This place is absolutely stunning. Just look at the sharp angles of the roof canopy.
Can we get a real photo?
It does look pretty
Magnificent.
cool.
This is not a real
The first
photo.
time I mentioned this stadium on the channel,
Is it?
I noted
Doesn't
that it
look like
was
it.
squoze
There we
between
go.
railway tracks on all sides.
Courage.
The distance between the tracks and the stadium is so minute.
Oh, wow.
You might even say it's a beast. Wait, no, you can't say that. What? Beast dick, you can't say that. Why the hell not? Well, you've already made the joke about the cockerel. I let that one slide. But you can't make 2 jokes about a gentleman's sausage in the same video. It's British law, innit?
British.
Yeah,
This is a
I
cool
know
stadium.
about the law.
It is.
I didn't know a bee's dick counted as a gentleman's sausage. Yeah, well, it's a bit ambiguous, but it's just not worth the risk, mate. Trust me. Alright, fine. Well, anyway, it's a great stadium. One of my
I like
favourite
it.
small stadiums going round. Beestick, 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 beestick. Oh, you are an absolute.
This guy's funny.
And those were the 2021-22 Premier
Wow.
League.
Every time we watch a video, I get upset when it's done. Because it just feels like they're so short.
It does.
I can out. That's fine.
Those are really cool.
I enjoyed those. They're very different. I mean, again, like I said, we haven't been to our own stadium, again, I'm saying soccer, football, because I don't want to confuse myself. We've been to our own football stadium, but not our European football stadium.
There you go.
There, trying. I'm trying, guys. So they're different for us, specifically because we have, like I said, we haven't been. The one, of course, that I liked the best, you guys are going to get mad at me because you already know what it is. I can't pronounce it. Tottenham?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong.
One.
That was just cool looking. I mean, come on. I like
That is.
we both like really modern architecture
We
anyway.
do? Yes.
I also like minimalistic architecture. You know, things that are kind of minimal.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like that one a lot. I liked all of them. I even liked some of the small older ones because
Yeah, they're classic.
classic. And then honestly, I go right in my head to thinking about the history. Think about all the people. You know, like you guys. I think about you guys, like your dads, your granddads
Yeah.
that went, and I think about all the time that they spent there. You just think back to those times, and I was thinking that in my head while watching this of like your families and you know your dads, your grandpas.
Yeah. To go watch a game at the
Yeah,
same place that
yeah.
generations before you had gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, my favorite part of this was seeing where you guys go when you're at the games and when you support your teams. What was your favorite one? You're going to say the same one I did. didn't you?
Yeah, I mean that one, and like you, I just like some of the smaller, more classic style ones. I mean, I wouldn't care if there was a pool in front of me. I mean,
I did like Leeds.
if that's where my team's playing at. What I did find what unique was like, or what I did like is how all the stands, the seats, have some kind of design in them with putting in different colors, like putting in the name of the team.
Yeah, we don't do that over here.
birds.
We
I
don't do
mean,
that over here. I
I
wish we
even
did.
saw some advertising in the seats, so I would guess that the advertising company paid to put those seats in to have their name in there,
Yeah,
which is kind of, well, wouldn't want that, but
right.
it is cool to see the different seat colors and how the stands look like a design even when no one's in there.
I liked the last one too. The Brentford, I
Mhm.
think it was. I thought that one actually was really cool. I like the different colors of the seat. Everything about it was neat. But Newcastle was really cool too. I liked them all. I'm not going to remember them all. Everton Park, I like that one as well. I don't know if I'm saying these right. I might be naming the place and not the name of the stadium.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stadium, even if it's not your team? And then tell us something cool about your stadium. That, like he had said at the beginning of the video, it's a great idea. Tell us something cool. Because he didn't cover everything, obviously. He was just showing us and giving us basic info, which I really enjoyed. And if you guys did again, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Let us know if you're watching the World Cup. Who you rooting for? Team USA? Yeah, I know that's probably not who you're rooting for. Are we even rooting for USA?
Sure we are.
I am.
Sure we are.
We're not going to win.
All right, thanks for being here. And again, tell us some things that you want us to know about your stadiums in the comments.
Yes.
And we will see you next.
Also, what I just thought that too. Besides just telling us something about the stadiums, give us a little story. Tell us a little something like if your dad or your granddad or your mom, your
first
sister,
time going to the game.
Your first time going to the game, something fun that happened to you, something ridiculous that happened to you. Tell us a little short story of something fun that would be something, I don't know, fun to share. We'd love to read it. Anyway, thank you guys again. We will see you on Sunday. Until then, guys, please love like jazz.
And be as strong as Tyson.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.